thank you so much. Should I share my screen or what should I do?
I think you should share your screen, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I think you can now see my screen, yes?
Not yet. One moment, please.
Yes. I think there's a problem.
Now we
that
can
I
see the
hear my
screen.
voice.
Now we can see the screen.
Yeah, but I can hear my voice, so
I don't know, we can hear you perfectly fine. Yeah, it's very good.
should I start?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I can think it. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Fateme Fathi, and today I'm going to talk about MyEduLife project with companion of my project partners, Philipp Zagler and Björn Adelberg. In December 2019, a scandal occurred in Nigeria when they found out that more than 100 university professors held fake diplomas, which was because of underestimating the important role of authenticating candidates' educational documents and certificates. So that's why today I'm going to talk about digitalizing educational documents. As we all know, education plays a foundational role in human life. We study at the school, then at the university, also many courses for most of careers to improve our skills and become a specialist. Moreover, our educational portfolio does not directly contain the knowledge we have acquired during these years, but those paper certificates confirm that we have received all of those given skills. These documents enable employers to easily evaluate their employees based on their educational information on those certificates. But the fact is that it's too easy to forge those paper certificates. And that's why digital identity is gaining more attraction during these years. In the MyEduLife project, which is a BMBF joint project of several German educational institutions such as Erlangen University, Technical University of Dresden, and TH Lübeck, we aim to firstly provide digital certificates of educational documents in a standardized way, and secondly, provide a secure and trusted storage of proofs of those qualifications using blockchain technology. This slide presents a very cursory overview over our dependencies, developments, and projects impacting MyEduLife. Okay. And among these projects, there are block certs, the Digitales Schulzeugnis, Europass, and everything associated with it. The Europass's approach is quite similar to MyEduLife, but while MyEduLife focuses on vocational education and training and on the situation in Germany, specifically on a smaller set of vocational training institutions, Europass has a broader focus. The DB Hope project here is somehow related to MyEduLife as they explore an infrastructure standard for issuing, storing, displaying, and verifying academic certificates in a national and international context. About certificates, we normally know certificates as a piece of paper with some information printed on it, indicating that the owner of the certificate has completed given educational courses. This may be signed or stamped by the organization that has conducted the course, but anyway, it's still extremely too easy to forge such a document. A digital certificate issued in electronic form is more convenient. Users don't need to worry about storing them, as they have this option to have it on their hard drives or their email accounts for as long as necessary. However, this still doesn't solve the problem of proving authentication. So authenticating educational certificates, a certificate recorded on a blockchain is an improved version of the electronic certificates. This is still sent to the user's email, but in addition, its data is also stored in a highly reliable platform, the blockchain. But what is this blockchain? As it's obvious from its name, the blockchain is a chain of blocks that are securely linked together through cryptographic means. Every block contains the hash of the previous block, including also transaction data and the timestamp. This data structure and its immutability can efficiently be used as a cybersecurity solution for securing networks. And currently, we are making use of Fraunhofer Institute's Quorum blockchain, which is a private and permissioned blockchain based on Ethereum and supports smart contracts. And also at the moment, we are doing research on different implementations of blockchain technologies like Ethereum 2 and Hyperledger Indy, so on. Blockchain technology can be also used to store and verify digital identities in a decentralized way. There are some traditional and also annoying mechanisms for this purpose, like basically authentication via login, for example, using username and password or email address and password and so on. Single sign-on is the other method, and only in part a solution, as they only reduce the need for individual usernames and passwords by a small fraction. But the problem here is that they have still users' data and can track users' behavior, and if the user loses his control over one of his accounts, the one who is in control then we'll have access to the other dependent accounts. So our solution for such a situation here is using the centralized public key infrastructure, in which we store and verify digital identities in a decentralized way using blockchain technology. Here is where digital decentralized identities are emerging, and self-sovereign identity was introduced, which this self-sovereign identity is a peer-to-peer identity management system model based on the usage of key pairs. About ESCO. ESCO is a European classification of skills, competences, qualifications, and occupations, which works as a multilingual dictionary translated into 28 languages, and is mostly used for cases such as matching job seekers to jobs on the basis of their skills, or suggesting trainings to people who want to reskill or upskill. And also this ESCO provides descriptions of 3,008 occupations and also 13,890 skills linked to these occupations. Our goal in MyEduLife is to provide a concise yet comprehensible representation of the educational pathway. The graphic shows one learning activity of welding training that can be expanded to see the individual training outcomes of this field. For example, be able to comprehend the objectives of metrology, or be able to list all SI-based units and their symbols for length, mass, time, and so on, and know the main linear measurement devices. In order to have digital certificates, we also need verifiable credentials. But what are these verifiable credentials? Verifiable credentials are a cryptographically secure and machine verifiable way of documenting physical assets. As you can see in this slide, we can have all the information in a physical asset as a machine readable format like a JSON file. In this way, the holder of the VC can decide on what attributes of their identity they want to disclose, which is called zero knowledge proof. The holder is also in complete control of their VC as they know when and what data was shared. Here you can see different roles and information flow of the VC mechanism. According to this picture, we have three essential roles: issuer, holder, and the verifier. As the name suggests, the issuer is responsible for issuing the VC, usually an authorized organization or institution that signs the credential. The holder receives his VC from the issuer and stores it in their own storage, gaining full control over it. He can decide to show his credential to the verifier, who is now responsible to verify the credential by validating the signature that the issuer gave upon creating this verifiable credential. A VC itself is bounded to a decentralized identifier called DAADs. These DAADs are globally unique identifiers like telephone numbers, email addresses, usernames, and so on. They can be deleted or they can be created or even be deleted by individuals or organizations to represent themselves. And also we can have as many as we want to use in many different contexts as we desire. And also these DAADs can be authenticated using cryptographic proofs. Here we can see how these DAADs look like. A DAAD is a simple text string consisting of three parts: the scheme of the DAAD, the method of the DAAD, and the specific string of the DAAD. And in the picture below, you can see how these DAADs look like when we want to use them for programming. So about what we are going to do in MyEduLife. Here is shown a workflow. Using MyEduLife, students receive their personal educational certificate from an institution, and they can easily disclose a complete and valid list of these qualifications to an employer that is looking to hire. Using ESCO database, they will have all the information in a categorized way, and the employer can easily verify the validity of the document by reading its hash in the blockchain. On the other hand, as educational institutions are obligated to follow some certain standards to document their candidates' academic progress, they will create uniform certificates. So after issuing those VCs by the institutions, they will be able to store the hash in the blockchain. So as a result, we are going to use the blockchain as our verifiable data registry. According to our workflow, there are many actors who are initiating some change processes and planning for further developments. To have a closer look, we have an issuer who is responsible for issuing VCs and saving the hash of the VC with a signature on it to the blockchain. Then the holder will receive the VC as a JSON file and present this VC to a verifier. The verifier, on the other hand, is responsible to read the hash of the VC in the blockchain and see if it's valid or not. For the issuer, in MyEduLife, we have a frontend named Issuer Control Center that you can see also. It's the screenshot of our website in the right side of the slide. The issuer needs to log in into his account using the key code. Then he can upload the certificate as a docs file. And after verifying the correctness of the data and using ESCO database, the issuer will be able to create the VC. After creating the VC, they will sign the VC and make a hash of this VC. And then they will be able to store the hash in the blockchain. But this was all about the issuer side. But from the holder side and the verifier, for the holder, he needs to at first request for registration, send a request to the issuer for registration. Then the issuer will send the registration link per email with some rules to the holder. After accepting those rules and doing registration by the holder, they can request for issuing the VC. And here the issuer will issue the VC, and then they will send the digital certificate as a JSON file per email to the holder. Now the holder has complete control over his VC, and whenever they decide, they can apply to an employer or somewhere else with the digital certificate. And now the verifier needs to log into their account using the key code, and for verifying the VC, they can read the hash of the VC in the blockchain to see if it's valid or not. On 7th of November of this year, we also published in Technical University of Dresden's website a news about our first trial run and issuing our first digital certificate at Handwerkskammer. As our future plan for DAAD architecture and workflow, we have planned to use Hyperledger Indy with Aries infrastructure as our blockchain. To use this architecture, each device or edge agent can have access to it using the agents and Lovelace layer. Then messages sent from an edge agent to another edge agent are routed through a sequence of cloud agents. Some of those cloud agents might be controlled by the sender, some by the receiver, and others might be gateways owned by agent vendors. But here we have the chance to have no verifier role to verify those VCs. As you can see in the right picture, using this architecture, the issuer at first will establish a connection with the holder. And the holder, after accepting this connection, will notify the issuer about this accepting. Then the issuer will issue the credential and send it to the holder. Then holder will be able to check the validity of the VC. For this purpose, they should establish a connection to a relying party. And after accepting this connection, the holder will be able to send the credential to the relying party. As a conclusion for our talk, we talked about the foundational role of educational certificates in our life, and that we are, regarding this issue, we are going to digitalizing educational certificates in MyEduLife Invite project. In this project, we aim to provide a decentralized and trusted registry for educational certificates using blockchain technology and standardizing acquired skills and competences using ESCO database. And most importantly, we aim to provide a trustable verification system for both employers and employees. Thank you for your attention. And here is our contact. If you have any question, please feel free to ask your question.